everyone, and welcome to our poster presentation on our study entitled Assessing the Financial Behaviors and Well-Being of College Students from Underserved Backgrounds. My name is Dr. Sofya Bagdasaryan, and this is my colleague,
Dr. Joanna Doran. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present to you. To the extent that communities of color are on the road to zero wealth, the need for understanding the factors that are contributing to the financial well-being of underserved college students from low-income backgrounds acquires new urgency. These are the students that are doing the socioeconomic transition. Margaret Sheridan's financial capability theory suggests that financial capability, or the ability to act, is a factor of financial inclusion, the knowledge to act, and financial inclusion, which is the opportunities to act. Financial well-being should be the purpose of financial capability, and so it would come after. But the question is, can financial well-being result from increases in financial literacy and financial inclusion alone?
In order to address this question, we conducted a survey. In terms of the design, this involved a quantitative cross-sectional survey that was self-administered. It was paper and pencil, it took about 10 minutes, and there was a raffle involved. The sample was a convenient sample. There were about 600 to 700 students in all of the classes combined that were visited. 587, or about 90%, responded to the survey, which is fairly high. 482 were minority students from underserved backgrounds, and 477 is the final sample with complete data. In terms of the dependent variables of interest, there were two, and the first was financial well-being. This was measured using a scale that was from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It ranged from 14 to 86. The higher the number, the higher the well-being. We measured financially sound behaviors using a modified version with permission from the Center for Social Development. This involved 4 separate behaviors that were considered financially sound, such as having an emergency amount of $200, as well as, for example, having checked one's credit score. Other independent variables of interest included financial knowledge, which was also from a scale that ranged from 0 to 4, 4 being the higher knowledge, and whether or not they had taken a financial education course while at the university. There were other independent variables of interest such as race, ethnicity, gender. We did offer other options for gender, but the survey respondents only picked male and female. Age, immigrant status, whether or not they were first-generation college students, whether they were married, or whether they had children that they were financially responsible for. By way of analysis, we conducted ordinary least squares regressions. In terms of our results, we found that the average financial well-being was a 52. Again, this is out of 86. And out of 4 behaviors, the average was 3. In terms of other variables of interest, knowledge on a scale of 0 to 4 had an average of about 3. Only about 23% had taken a financial education course. 83% of our sample had a savings account, which was our measure of inclusion. And the remainder of the variables, you can pause the video if you're interested, but for the interest of time, we're going to move on to the results of the regressions. So in terms of behaviors, we can see that knowledge, having taken a financial education course, having a savings account, and age were all related to engaging in financially sound behaviors in the expected directions. But then when we look at the regression on financial well-being, now knowledge, having taken the education course, the savings account, those are no longer significant. Behaviors, however, is. So the more financially sound behaviors, the higher the financial well-being. Age is no longer significant, but being female is negatively correlated to financial well-being. On the other hand, having children is positively correlated with financial well-being.
The results of this study have implications for theory and practice. First, in the broad way, they confirm Sheridan's theory. The promotion of one of those factors, literacy or inclusion, by itself cannot lead to financial well-being. It needs to have the intervening factor of behavior. But this suggests a theoretical complication because, after all, Margaret Sheridan's theory talked about the ability to act, but not necessarily acting, just having the potential to act. And this study suggests that behavior is actually needed to produce financial well-being. In other words, it cannot just be a potential capability. It's something that actually has to manifest in behavior. And if borne out by further studies, the implication for the practice is that interventions should be designed to introduce people to financially inclusive products by providing them with information and creating the circumstances for them to act in that moment on their financial capability, which is also supported by behavioral economics. The example of such an intervention is the financial first responder training by the Asset Building Clinic. The Asset Building Clinic was created to expand financial capability by connecting people to resources and in that way increasing their financial inclusion, coupling this with a little bit of information and guidance towards tools that will help people to take action. If you're interested to learn more, please do not hesitate to email me at the email that appears at the end of the presentation.